Hey guys, I'm back at 42 Gear Street and I'm here with Rich from Rich Words Music.
Hello.
How are you doing? How's your event going so far?
I'm good. I'm hot. It's been a very warm event so far,
Yeah.
but lots of cool gear. I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wish the temperature was as cool as the gear, but
Like it.
you can keep that one. Here we are again anyway, in the boiling hot German summertime.
Mm.
But yeah, in this video, we're going to be talking about some HSS guitars for a couple of different pricing tiers, because there's a few brands this year that have some really cool HSS guitars, and I love HSS configuration guitars, and yeah, we thought we'd pull a few of our favorites together and kind of show you what you get for each sort of price point as well. So first of all, Rich is using the new Yamaha Pacifica, which is the Standard Plus model.
It is, yes.
And those retail at around about £1,000,
Yeah.
give or take, depending on your local exchange rate and currency.
Exactly, yeah.
So
They're,
dare I say entry level, but it's not really an entry level price, but that's the sort of the cheapest model of the three that we're talking about.
yeah, exactly. And there are two models in the Pacifica, like the revamp that they've recently done. There's a professional model as well, which is like a Japan-built one.
Yeah, which is about £1,000 more, isn't it?
Yeah, considerably more expensive. I think a few people were a little bit confused when these came out, because if you remember the recent RevStar revamp,
Yeah.
there were three in that.
Yes.
And there was an Element at the cheapest end of the price spectrum, which was about $400-500 in British pounds.
Yeah, about
And
that.
there isn't one of those with the Pacifica. We've just got the Standard Plus and the Pro.
Yeah.
But still.
So in terms of like the RevStar, this fits in where the standard RevStar model is, and then you've got the other one then, which is the professional, lacking that kind of lower tier one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and price-wise, this is, I would say, it's similar to kind of a higher-end Mexican Fender Strat.
Yeah,
something like
that's
that.
probably a fair
something
approximation.
Like that. Yeah.
Then in the middle, we've got this Ibanez AZ Prestige model. These retail at around about the £2,000 mark. Again, all these prices are kind of give or take local currencies and exchanges. This is, I believe, one of the made in Japan models, super high spec, great guitars, sort of double the price of this more or less. And then at the top end, this thing, which is the Valiant Guitars Mercury, and these start at around about $2,700-2,800 for a model like this with a hardtail, but you can also go up to like £3,000 plus if you get these with the tremolo and various other features. So it's sort of like 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 as a ballpark figure.
Yeah.
So I'm a big fan of HSS guitars just because they're just so versatile. What's your opinion on them?
I've been a telly man for a long time.
Yeah.
But I have started playing HSS guitars recently, and I always thought I would miss sort of the Stratty single coil bridge pickup, but then I started trying HSS guitars and realised I actually never use a Strat single coil bridge pickup, and then I was like, you can do everything with these guitars.
Yes.
And a lot of them also happen to have something like this, like a coil split, so you can split the humbucker down anyway.
I was just about to say that's the other thing as well, is each of these three guitars has some form of alternate switching which allows you to get some other sounds as well.
Yeah, exactly. And so with that, and with these three pickups on their own, with generally like a 5-way blade like on a Strat, you can cover pretty much any kind of tonal ground, which is what you often need, right, for the shows that you do.
Exactly. Yeah, for me as a touring guitar player, it's sort of an essential thing.
Yeah.
So I reckon we should use some of them. Let's start at the bottom actually, with the cheapest price. So let's get the Yamaha going.
Yeah.
So we're using a couple of different pieces of gear from some of the other brands here as well. Got the new Blackstar TV10A amp over there next to Rich. That's the kind of continuation of, if you're familiar with their Studio 10 line. It's like a 10 watt, very kind of American, great clean platform amp, lovely sounding amp. And we've got a pedal board on the floor, which the guys at Sweetwater very kindly provided for the event, with a couple of different things on. We're going to be using this pedal here from JHS for some drive sounds.
That's the hard drive. Brand new, actually, at time of filming. This just came out this month.
There we go. So that's a brand new pedal. That's why I'm not familiar with that then. And we're also using some cables from the guys at Sommer Cable as well. So thanks, guys, for providing those really cool cables.
Yep, exactly.
So, yeah, Rich is going to do some playing now, and we're going to hear a little bit of some of the Pacifica sounds.
Yep, so... Good enough for rock and roll?
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, all right. So this is the bridge humbucker on the clean channel. I split it down.
It's really hi-fi, isn't it? Like really crisp and clear.
Right, so one thing that we haven't mentioned yet is that we've got Neve pickups in this guitar. I don't know have you done a video with this guitar
I haven't,
before?
no, but I'm aware of the Neve pickups.
No, yeah, so Yamaha, for this specific model, they started working with Rupert Neve's company, and these pickups were designed by them, and
That's
obviously we know Neve for mixers and pristine studio sound, that kind of stuff, and that sort of translated to the pickups. I've spent quite a few weeks with this guitar, and I do find them to be very pristine, very hi-fi.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to get into them, but when I did, I was like, oh, this is actually really good.
It's almost like a full range kind of sound, isn't it? You get like this extra sort of 10% that you don't normally hear in a standard
exactly.
pickup.
And I feel if you're someone who's going towards like a traditional Stratty sort of thing, this might not be ideal, at least at first, but we'll see. We'll hear it because you'll play it as well, and you're more sort of traditional than I am, let's say anyway. If we go to like the neck pickup, we get something like this. Between, let's do the same.
That's nice.
You still get your sort of... The Strat middle pickup, by the way, is a pickup that I love. So I'm a huge fan of the Strokes. Albert Hammond Jr. is the curly head guitar player in the Strokes, and he's always
he
on
lives there, doesn't
the
he?
middle pickup of a Strat or a Strat type guitar, and it sounds fantastic. It's great for lead stuff, but great for rhythm stuff as well. Sounds like this. So that's like a very quick run through of just what you can get strumming a couple of chords with all of the pickups, and you're scraping the surface of what you can do with it, really. Like, this was volume and tone full up and very, very simple stuff. Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you can cover anything with that. With this, if you're on the neck pickup, I find that it's great for strumming stuff, it's great for country, it's great for arpeggios and stuff like that. And the bridge pickup's got quite a lot of poke to it. It breaks the amp up a little bit. Yeah. And it's a real nice, versatile pickup.
It sounds great.
Yeah,
I love the sound of that.
Do you want to do some clean stuff on this one? Or?
Let's have a quick go.
Yeah, why not?
Okay, that one.
Across the streams.
Quite snappy.
It's bitey, yeah.
Just some drive on. That sounds really good. Even like with some overdrive on it, it's still got all that kind of clarity to it, which is nice. The tuning isn't spot on because it's super humid, but feels great though. I like the feel of the neck as well.
I really like the satin finish that they put on their necks. Yeah. It's a little bit chunkier than other sort of modern necks, I feel like.
It is, definitely.
Got a real nice shape to it. Yeah.
That's the thing I love about the Revstar, is it does have that slightly kind of bigger neck profile. So it's it kind of feels like a nice continuation of that to me. Yeah,
exactly. Where do you spend most of your time in the night when you're in one of your bands, like doing rhythm guitar? Are you sort of in one of the in-between positions, or mostly on the neck or the bridge? Or?
For me, it's the neck and position 4. So like if I'm playing single note stuff, I might be on the sort of neck. Because you get that kind of nice snappy sound. But then if I'm doing sort of funky chord stuff, I really like the position 4. It just gives a nice sort of chime to it. That, I mean, the neck pickup also sounds great for that. But for me, I find when I'm kind of digging in, the neck's a little bit too snappy.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And I find that position 4 just kind of takes the edge off a bit, which for me kind of sits in the mix a little bit better.
What I quite like with this guitar is position 2 with the coil split activated. Try that. It's the humidity. It's the humidity.
Oh, nice and quacky.
Yeah. And
nice.
And that's the one which I find is closest to what at least is in my head when I think about stratty sort of clean tones.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
So if we had to go up a pricing tier, we end up at the Ibanez AZ. Now this particular one is... Oh dear. Hang on, one sec. These Ibanez Prestige guitars, or the AZ series, has a slightly different input jack. And the right input jacks don't always work that well. Okay. So yeah, this one would take you up a pricing tier. So we're sort of in the £2,000 ballpark now.
Yeah.
You can obviously get this model in a similar pricing bracket to the Yamaha as well. They do like a lower cost AZ as well, I suppose. But this is the Prestige one. So feature-wise, I mean, obviously on the surface it's kind of the same setup. You've got a volume tone, 5-way switch, HSS. The big difference here is you've got the Ibanez Alta switch. Mm-hmm. Now, what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to pretend on video like I know all the positions that does. Because in the down position, it just functions as a standard 5-way.
Yeah.
But when you put it in the up position, you get some different variations of sort of pickup arrangements. Like I think there's one position which is like the bridge and a split coil in the neck, or the split coil bridge and neck, and then there's different sort of switching options that you can't get from the traditional 5-way. But again, it's got those additional features, so it's more than just 5 different pickup positions. So this one,
and we got Seymour Duncan pickups.
Oh
in
yeah,
this
we
one,
do.
right?
Yeah. Yes, obviously that's the other thing. Now we've got a different brand of pickup here, so we've got some Seymour Duncans. I'm not sure exactly what models, but that'll be on the Ibanez website somewhere. So the first thing, it's less spiky in the top end. Mm-hmm. You get a bit more like a rounded sound. So that the Yamaha would probably be great if you're like a studio guy and you want like a pristine kind of clean tone. This is where this guitar sort of has a bit more of that stratty character, where you've got that kind of warmth in the single notes, especially. Yeah. It's the sort of fatter sounding. And obviously you've got all the classic in-betweens. That's a really nice one. It's not as quacky as the Yamaha, it's got a little bit more sparkle to it.
To my ears, it's a mellower sound than the Yamaha.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice, it's very well-rounded sort of tone. I like it.
Bridge humbucker. It's nice. This will have some bridge humbucker splits with the Alta switch, but I'm not sure exactly what those options are. Definitely not the first position, but there is some kind of different split coil options. Obviously, if you go on the Ibanez website, all those are listed out in great detail.
Yeah.
Let's hear you play this one with some overdrive. I'm gonna put you in out of your comfort zone now.
Absolutely, I hate overdrive.
You hate overdrive. That's.
I'm surprised by the weight of this guitar. I mean, I can't estimate what it is, but it's much lighter than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very comfortable. Nice. I think like you could probably take that out on a show and play it stood up for 2 or 3 hours and it wouldn't really give you any issues.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. A lot of poke in that.
Yeah, that's a nice bridge humbucker. Maybe that doesn't do anything. Maybe that
anything, is it?
Yeah, maybe that doesn't do anything in the bridge humbucker position.
It might be the Leigh Sklar switch. You know, he has that producer switch when he's in the studio on his bass, and it does nothing. But yeah,
but you think it does something, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not hearing any differences, to be honest with you.
It's subtle.
It's very, very subtle.
When you had that in the up position,
yeah,
those the neck and the position forward fatter. So what it's doing there is, I think it's, someone will correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it might be adding the humbucker in.
Yes.
Because obviously what the alter switch does is it changes the configuration of the standard 5-way and brings in some different configurations.
Yeah. It's I don't know, it sounds great, this guitar. It's quite a lot of overdrive for me for playing classic rock sort of stuff, but it works. Can you dial the gain back just a tad on that hard drive? Yeah, I like that.
Nice,
I could play this one all day, to be honest.
Yeah, that I love that guitar. It's really,
really nice. I think it's got a rosewood neck.
No, so
or is it roasted maple?
It's roasted maple. I spoke to Dan from Ibanez about this earlier because I commented on the colour and I asked him what wood it was, and it is actually roasted maple. But what he told me was Ibanez roast the woods based on the humidity content of the wood. So obviously, when you get wood in the factory, it's going to have different humidity, water retention.
Yeah.
What Ibanez will do is they'll roast the woods until all the woods that they use for the guitars are the same, like sort of water density or humidity level, which means that obviously some bits of wood you need to roast for longer, which means the grain gets darker.
Yeah.
So that wood has probably been roasted longer than another piece of wood, which is why it's this kind of darker shade.
Yeah.
But that means then when they build guitars, they're using consistent wood on all of the necks. You might get different colours depending on how long it's been roasted, but the actual consistency of the wood then will be the same.
Yeah.
So he said, but if they roasted by colour, that's not as consistent in terms of like the actual humidity of the wood, which I thought was quite interesting because I didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that either, but it looks fantastic, and the darkness of this goes really well with the pink finish on the body.
Exactly my thought.
What I'm guessing here is it's either dark rosewood or an ebony. I actually can't tell.
I think it's probably a rosewood fretboard.
Yeah, I'm assuming it is. But this one, it's an incredibly comfortable neck. It's built, I think, for more modern-day, faster players than the Pacifica. It feels like it's got larger frets.
Yeah.
It's got really nicely rounded and rolled edge of the board and stuff. Real comfy guitar. Really like it.
Yeah, it's great.
Do you want to run some drives through it, or do we go to the...
let's do it. Let's have a quick play of the drive, and then we'll talk about the Valiant. Cool sounds.
Very nice. Very versatile.
Yes.
Yep.
Now, that shouldn't pop because I've got the tuner muted, but it is popping, so who knows. Now we're going to go to the higher end of the pricing tier. Excuse the pops. With this Valiant Mercury. Now these are kind of, I mean, even the guitars that are their sort of stock guitars, and I don't really want to use that word too much because they kind of build a lot of stuff to order, but they have sort of some core features. So if you were to just go on the website, you could order one of these just as is, or you can kind of go down the road of some cool customizing options.
Yeah.
But as this probably retails at around about 2,800 to $3,000, but then they've got some of these on the website for kind of $3,500 depending on what feature set.
Yeah.
Now the big difference here is it's their own pickups, so it's not a third party coming in designing or providing the pickups. These are Valiant's own pickups in this guitar.
Okay, but with Valiant, is it not the case that everything on the guitar is Valiant, right, as well?
Essentially,
pretty much.
Essentially,
they build almost all of their own stuff.
Yeah, like the bridge is all like custom machined by them. All the metal plate in the nut is all. The tuners are Goto tuners, so those are third party. But yeah, all of this stuff you see here it's all like they build all that in house. Like the bridges are kind of bespoke to the guitars.
Yeah.
You could replace that with another bridge, but obviously it would, you know, a aftermarket one wouldn't fit exactly like that does.
Yeah, sure. You're much more familiar with Valiant guitars than me. What are their pickups generally voiced like, or can you get a variety of options?
Kind of a variety, but their own ones at the moment are quite hot, quite open sounding. Again, kind of hi-fi, like there's a lot of detail in the sound, a lot of clarity.
Yeah.
This one has some really interesting switching as well, because you've only got a three-way switch.
Uh-huh.
So what happens here is the three-way switch works like a typical three-way switch, but it activates each pickup. So bridge, middle, and neck, one by one. I'm pretty sure that's right. But then you've got these two switches here. Mm-hmm. This switch is for the bridge humbucker. So in the middle it's series, which is full humbucker. Then you've got single coil, mm-hmm. which splits this, and then you've got parallel, which adds this pickup in parallel, mm-hmm. I think, which kind of gives you that position 2 thing. Or it might give you parallel on those two coils, I'm not exactly sure. But in this pickup, when you're in the neck position like that in series is just the neck pickup. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to remember the way this was explained to me now. Or maybe single coil is the neck pickup, and then parallel puts those two in like a position 4 strat type thing.
The neck in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you've got, again, it's a load of different switching options to get different kind of pickup combinations.
Yeah.
I might have explained that slightly wrong, but
yeah,
that's sort of the gist of it.
It's a very interesting idea, and it reminds me of the way Fender have done things with their offsets over the years. But really interesting to have 3 pickups and to just have a 3-way switch like this.
It's cool though, isn't it? It's different.
Yeah.
But then you had the option then to kind of change how those pickups function.
To change things up, exactly, yeah. And this guitar is made in Ukraine, by the way. Yeah. And is this a newer model?
This is their newest model.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of a traditional S-type sort of guitar with offset vibes. And
yeah.
I don't know.
Like a kind of a Strat master.
Yeah, and I could imagine Kurt Cobain playing one of these, no problem.
Yeah,
it reminds me very much of some of the instruments that he played. Yeah, very cool.
Do you want to give us some clean sounds?
I think we should probably hear it. Do you reckon it would be possible if I do just one little clean riff that you sort of toggle the knobs as I do it, and we sort of hear that?
And then...
Did we get through them all?
Nope, keep going. Pickup. That's the neck pickup sound there.
Let me just hear the... So right, if I want to go to the bridge humbucker just on single coils, I've got to flick that, and I've got to flick that,
yes,
right?
That's correct, yeah.
Oh wow, there's a lot of poke. Wait, am I just on the bridge humbucker now?
That's just bridge humbucker, yeah. So series is the full humbucker.
And flick it across to parallel, and it's these two.
It either puts the middle pickup in, or it puts the 2 coils here in parallel. I can't remember exactly which one.
I think I don't know what we've got.
Yeah, it sounds nice.
But there's a massive variety of sounds.
Yeah.
Just on the cleans.
Yes.
With this guitar, so that's really, really cool. Really like
What's
that.
really cool with this switching system over a typical 5-way is you can have some quite extreme contrasts. So you could have something like, you know, like these two in parallel, but then you could have like the bridge pickup and the middle pickup in series. Like the bridge pickup as a humbucker and the middle pickup as a single coil, and then just the bridge humbucker. Like there's a lot of different options there that you can kind of do as well, which is quite cool.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's quite an aggressive sounding guitar just on first
very
listen.
Bright, isn't
and
it?
I think it would sound probably very good with fuzz, with the Lizard King, for example.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
should we give it a try?
Let's turn it
do
on.
Some fuzz.
Yeah, why not? It's a lot of noise, but that sounds very, very nice indeed.
Yeah, that's a great guitar. It's really cool.
I would like to hear your more restrained tones on this beast.
Okay. There you go.
Well, I've quite recently got into fuzzes and stuff again, and I'm starting to get my head around stuff like Smashing Pumpkins and that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Fuzz is an acquired taste. I think for a lot of people it takes a while to kind of get fuzz.
I disliked it for so many years because one of the first pedals I ever bought was one of the big black box big muffs.
Yeah.
And I was trying to play Rage Against the Machine and Green Day on it. And
yeah. You need a
back in the day,
Telenet pickup and a JCM 800.
I didn't know it was not going to be a problem.
Yeah,
it was a problem, but
yeah.
it made me dislike fuzzes for so long.
Yeah.
And now recently I've got back into them, so yeah.
It's good. A lot of gain on that fuzz, isn't there?
There is, yeah.
Sounds cool, though.
It's a meaty, nasty sounding fuzz, which I really, really like about it. And it fits perfectly with that guitar, in my opinion.
Yeah, because what I do find with the Valiant stuff, and this is one of the things I really like about them, is that the pickups are so bright that they cut through, and when you use things that are like typically darker sounding pedals or whatever, they can really kind of liven them up a bit sometimes, which is quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely. So, if you were going to be picking one of these three to take home with you after this fine event, which one would it be?
That's a good question. I'm slightly biased, and I would say the Valiant because I already own a Valiant and I love it. But I do also really want this, and I also really want one of those. So in an ideal world, I'd steal all three of them.
It's tough, isn't it? But if you were to be buying this guitar to be your one guitar, if you lost your other Valiant and everything else, and you only had one instrument to cover everything, just from this test here, feeling the necks, hearing the pickups and that, which one spoke to you the most upon first play?
Probably the Ibanez.
The Ibanez.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because there's something about the pickups on that I really like, or just the tone of it, the overall kind of roundness.
Yeah.
There's just something about that as soon as I plugged it in was, I don't know, an instant kind of click.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It is an exquisite guitar in every way.
Yeah.
And while the other two are also fantastic instruments, and this one is just built to incredible standards,
I love the Valiant stuff.
It's much more rough and ready than this one. And in certain gigging situations and the kind of music that you play, this one might be the easiest to tame, if you know what I mean.
Possibly,
as well.
yeah, possibly.
And also, I don't know, I mean, it would take a while to get used to that switching system, and if you're needing to do things quickly in a live context, this could be easier.
I'm more of a fan of a traditional five-way.
Yeah.
Like, I like this, and I think this is really cool and innovative. And this works great for the Valiant Jupiter that I have because it's got a twin pair. It's got two humbuckers. That's what I'm trying to say. It's too hot to even think straight. It's got two humbuckers, and with humbuckers, this switching system makes a lot of sense.
Yeah,
because
of course.
It's bridge, middle, and neck, and then you've got a control for each pickup.
Yeah.
What is slightly more confusing in this context is that this switch controls two pickups. So I guess for me it would probably be quite easy to get that wrong.
Yeah.
But the concept's cool though. I like the way that they do that. It's
Yeah,
really,
I know what you mean, and I think with any of these guitars, you absolutely couldn't go wrong.
Yeah,
And
wherever you go, one of these, it's a winner.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, this one might be 3 times the price of the Yamaha, but the Yamaha is like it's a top performing guitar.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
it's really, really decent.
I think absolutely nothing of taking that out on tour with me and playing that every night. I would 100% trust that guitar on stage.
Yeah,
which is a great reflection actually of the price, because you know it's £1,000-ish and it's more than road ready out of the box, which is cool.
yeah, exactly. Comes with a gig bag as well. I don't know if these ones do. I assume this one does.
And Valiant usually ship with
a case,
hard cases. And
yeah,
I think they've started doing some stuff with gig bags as well. So yeah, you basically get a case with each one as well. So you could buy one of these and literally go out the door and gig.
There you go. Perfect.
Cool.
Take your summer cable and you're done.
Yeah. Well, there we go. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks to Solmer Cable and Sweetwater for providing some of the gear for this video. Thanks to all the guitar brands for making the event possible, and thanks to Rich for being in the video.
Thanks for having me.
There's some links down below to Rich's channel. Go give him some love. All the guitars and all the brands we talk about. Big thanks to Victor for switching the video. And yeah, and Victor's saying thank you in the background as well. And let me know down below in the comments which one of these 3 you would go for and why. Why is that your favourite HSS guitar from this video? Thanks for watching as always, guys, and see you soon.